up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? If you're wondering, why did he play the opening now? Because we're going international.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. And we are super excited to have this girl on the show. Of course, aside from the millions and millions and millions of followers,
Hmm.
she is also super talented. She's got a catchy song out. We are playing it on the Monster. You guys have been requesting for it. And she embodies the whole aesthetic, like she look good, she sound good, she moves good. Like, I wish I had my life together like she does her bangs, Like, that's just as simple as it is.
I like her hair. It got a whole
Right?
Chun Li from Street Fighter vibe, which I'm
Yeah.
digging. That's what it's all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome here on the show, coming all the way from, get this, Malaysia. Malaysia.
Asia.
Our second,
Truly Asia.
right? This is the second KL guest that we had. Yesterday we did have Z Abby. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jannine
Hey!
Weigel.
Hi, Jannine.
How are
Thanks
you?
for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. We're super excited to chat with you because it's always so nice to be able to get to know another artist, somebody who has literally put their art out there despite the pandemic. It's been a crazy couple of months. I think we can safely say. So before anything else, Rico and I love to ask this. How are you? How have you been? How has lockdown life been for Jannine?
Oh my gosh, it's been crazy because I guess nobody's ever been in a pandemic before, including me.
Yeah.
I guess there was a lot of changes this year as well, and it was so crazy to kind of like figure out how to put out music in midst of the pandemic. But at the end of the day, I think I've started to adapt to this life a little bit more. Like I don't really know. Like I don't remember what life was pre-quarantine.
Mhm.
It's
Oh
just
my
so
God.
weird.
Same
I mean,
girl.
you know,
Same.
with the whole quarantine, Janine, the explosion of TikTok, and then your song comes out. I mean, first and foremost, who choreographed the dance? Did you do it? Did you do the choreography, or is it just the people who came up with the dance and were like, "We'll roll with this"?
So for the music video, it was more like kind of like freestyling. But
Mm.
on TikTok, my dance instructor and me choreographed it together. So it was kind of like a collaboration between us, I guess.
Mm.
Wow.
Janine, you said in one of your press cons when Passcode came out that you were really excited for people to hear it because it basically captured your personality, fun, bubbly, with a little bit of an edge. I mean, was that always the vibe that you were going for in terms of your music? Or did you try out like other feels, other vibes before deciding, like, okay, I feel like this is the path that I want to take, and Passcode will be the perfect, like, intro to this edgy, fun, bubbly Jannine?
I guess in the past, before I got signed with my new label, Vet Records, that I'm at right now, I've done more darker and more serious stuff. So I've rarely done anything that's like more bubbly or fun before. And I feel
Mhm.
like signing with the new label is kind of like a new beginning where I just wanted to try out something new and like something that I don't usually do a lot. And I feel like for me, this year has been a year of a lot of change. And I also turned 20 this year. So I feel like this is the age, this is the time where like I just have to, I'm supposed to have fun, and I just want to convey that in my music and like this new chapter in my life that I want to represent to people. And I think a lot of my fans are in the same season of life as well. So I feel like everybody can kind of relate to that too.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, turning 20, Carla, take note of that. She's turning 20.
She turned 20. She's young.
Turning
She
20,
is so young, but already she has done so
right?
much. Okay, I mean, since we're talking about lots of changes, you told us off air, but I would love to talk about this on air and of course on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. So hello everybody. Don't forget you can comment down any questions or messages for Jannine. We'll be sure to flash them on screen. You are calling us from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now, for somebody who is half German, half Thai, you're born in Germany, right? And then you moved to Thailand when you were
Yeah.
10?
Yes.
And then now you're in KL. First of all, when did you move to KL and why did you move? Because I feel like this is a great, colorful story for everyone.
I moved to KL this year in February before the lockdown. So it was like it was also my first time moving out of the house. Like I've never lived alone before. I've never been far away from my family. When I moved, I thought that like, oh, even if I live alone, I'll still be able to go back to Thailand and visit my family. But as we know now, you can't travel, and I haven't seen my family for like 8 months or something.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Because if you went there in Feb, every country sort of started their lockdowns and they were closing their borders. I mean, initially, when you moved there first, you were like, okay, that's gonna be great, right? Why exactly did you pick KL? What was
Yeah.
the plan for you landing in KL?
So my label is based here, so like everybody that I work with live here. So I thought that if I live here, like everything's gonna be easier in terms of working. But then when we went into quarantine, the 3 months of lockdown, we all had to just Zoom each other.
Oh my gosh, that's
Same
right.
thing.
No, I mean, it ended up being the same thing. You could have
Yeah.
been anywhere around the world, and I mean, it
Yeah.
would have had the same effect, right? Okay, so now we know why you moved to KL. When the lockdown happened and you found out, okay, I cannot see my family, I cannot go back. I mean, what was your initial reaction? Can you talk us through that? Because for the rest of us, like, of course, like for Rico and I, we live in the Philippines, our families are here, we're here and we're used to it. But for somebody who's, like you said, never lived outside of home, isn't from the country, I mean, the only people that you know are, of course, your label, which I'm sure are like family to you. Was the initial reaction of the whole, oh my goodness, I cannot go home?
I definitely freaked out a little bit because I expected it all to be so different, like living on my own for the first time. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much freedom now. Like, there's so much stuff I can do, but I don't know what to do now because I have to stay at home and I don't know when I'll get to see my family and all that, and even the people that I work with. Because at the time, the lockdown there wasn't really like a date for like when it's gonna end. So it felt like it was just endless waiting until things get better, until we hit the 3 month mark where we were actually able to like leave the house again and like meet up in like still safe conditions, but I guess less strict. So it was definitely a challenging 3 months, but I'm glad that I made it out.
And
You
you're
know,
thriving, girl. You are thriving.
I mean, moving countries and all that. What was the struggle with the house chores? What was that house chore you're struggling with that you can't like? Oh man, I didn't know you're supposed to wash the dishes this way.
Oh,
Which,
yeah. At first, like the first 2 months, I was like, oh, I love washing the dishes, but now it's like I don't want to do it anymore. Even laundry, like it feels like when I first moved, I barely had any clothing. Like I had maybe like 10 pieces or so, so I had to keep washing over and over. And still, like right now, I still feel like I have to wash my laundry all the time, but it's because I have too many. So it's like
Yeah.
it's never ending.
I feel you, girl. At the start you're just like, oh, okay, like 1, 2, 3 pairs of socks, 4, 5. Why do I have so many shorts? Like, what is going on? Like, are you multiplying? Like, what is going on here? Okay, since we're talking, lockdown happened and all of that, you still managed to film the music video for Passcode, which is why, again, I reiterate, you are thriving in the midst of this worldwide pandemic. You are living your best life. I mean, was that a decision that you and your label kind of sat down virtually to decide to do? Because, some people will see this situation as like a sign, like, okay, maybe we stop first, we take a break, we don't do anything until things normalize. What made you guys decide, like, despite everything going on, we're going to push through with this. We're going to release the music video. We're going to film it. I mean, walk us through that as well. What was that process like?
I think it was also because we just started working together. I got signed this past December, so like we literally just started out. And once the pandemic happened, we figured that we're not gonna let a pandemic stop stop the release of the song. So we try to figure out how we could work around it. And luckily, like after the 3 months of lockdown, where we also had time to prepare the work that we're gonna do, like from marketing to like the music itself. We the lockdown, the I guess like the restrictions got a little bit looser, so we were able to film the music video and all that. And we also had the chance to go into the studio as well after that. So from recording to mix and mastering, and also preparing pre-production and all that, took about a month, and then it took like 2 days, which we tried to, I guess, stay as safe as possible as well. And the editing took another week or so. So I guess the process wasn't too long, but just like the figuring out how we could work around this whole situation took a little bit longer.
Was the theme of the, sorry, Rico, follow-up question, but was the theme of the music video your idea, or was that something that you guys decided on together? Because it's a really cool music video, you know? You've literally got like the FaceTime, like don't answer 2020, 2019 moments, but then you've got like arcade games, and you know, it's just this fun, neon, playful video that no matter what year the person was born, they could totally like relate to the different references. Was that your idea, or was that something that, you know, your label pitched and you were like, that is so me, like let's
It was
do that?
it was a kind of like a collaboration between me and the director, because at first when I heard the full song with my vocals on it, I am somebody who like goes on Pinterest all the time, so I just did kind of like a mood board, and I sent that to my team and the director, and they kind of like worked around on how they could do a story based on the mood board that I gave them. So it was definitely like kind of like a 50-50 situation. Like we all helped each other out in a way.
You know, for those that
Oh
are
my
tuning in here on the Monster, you have Jannine Weigel. She's talking to us and just, you know, hanging out and getting to know the music video, shooting during the pandemic. You know, this is epic. Regardless of when 2020 ends and we move on to our normal lives, you could say to people, yo, I shot a music video during the pandemic times, right? So that's pretty solid.
Right?
You know? That's pretty solid. Okay, now, millions of followers. How was that feeling when you first reached 1 million on your Instagram?
Oh, it feels like such a long time ago. But
wow.
I think for me it was just kind of like a milestone, because for me, how I see it is that the way that I got here was by YouTube and just like putting out a lot of stuff. And for me, like how I worked on YouTube was I started with my mom, so we did that together for like a couple of years, and then like a while after, people started to come and like offer help, like, oh, do you want to have help shooting the music, I guess like the cover music video and all that. So it was definitely, me, my mom, my family, we put a lot of like effort and a lot of time and like resources in it. So I think like for me, whether in which platform, whether it be YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, like when I first hit the 1 million milestone, it was definitely like something like, wow, like how did this happen?
Yeah, I can only imagine how incredible that must have felt. Now, Jannine, we wish we could have you for longer, but we know you have so much going on and you have a lot of other places to be at and people to speak to. But before we go, you said earlier that, you know, even when you got to Malaysia, they were putting you in the studio and stuff. So, I mean, congratulations on Passcode. Can we expect more new music from you moving forward? Like, what are the plans that you have that you can share with all of your fans? Because I know that this is something very exciting that everybody has to, like, they have to know, they have to mark their calendars.
Sure. So I'm definitely working on more music right now, and if everything goes to plan, probably beginning of next year, like January, February, I'll release my next single. But yeah, I think in the future it's probably gonna be a lot of more singles first, but hopefully I'll have the chance to work on an album as well.
Oh, exciting!
Exciting stuff. Also, maybe a collaboration with Darren Espanto, right?
Oh yeah, he's amazing. His voice is insane. Like it's out of this world.
I mean,
Oh, well,
you know,
thank you, Jannine.
message for your Filipino fans.
Thank you so much for supporting, and I hope that I'll get to see you guys in person soon. But in the meantime, please stay safe and take care, and thank you so much for your support. Bye.
Thank you, Jannine. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon, okay? When all is safe and well.
I would love to. Stay
Bye.
safe. Bye.
There you go.
There you guys have it.
Weigel, awesome, awesome lady. We learned so many new things. Shooting a video during the pandemic. I mean, that's courage and boldness.
I know.
You know what I mean? So
And moving out, moving away from home to pursue your dreams at such a young age, that is so inspiring. Like, honestly, that makes me feel like such an underachiever.
Karla, you're
Like,
moving? You're moving.
it's like, I'm moving to the next room to grab a snack. I mean,
Right,
this
right.
girl is literally moving across the world to pursue her dreams, which is super exciting. And we cannot wait to have her back. So thank you to Jannine. Thank you to her label, to the entire team. Of course, Monsters, you can request for her song. All you have to do at RX931. Passcode is out. We are playing it for you guys. So do request for it. Check it out. Share this Facebook Live with everybody that you know. Share it. Let them listen to the song. Watch the music video. It's a really cool music video, by the way. Like, it's really, really cool.
I'm about to go play the song here on air, ladies and gentlemen. But for Facebook Live, thank you guys very much for joining us. She is Karla Aguas.
It's Rico Robles live.
Hey, here's Jannine Weigel with Passcode on the Monster.